This mother noticed that her child's stomach was growing, and her child, this 11-year-old child, was pregnant.
Tonight is nowhere safe. An 11-year-old girl with special needs claims she was raped by a 17-year-old camp counselor at the YMCA. It sounds so wrong, so twisted. It can't possibly be true, but that's exactly what she says happened. And we're investigating tonight. Making the case even more horrendous, this young girl got pregnant allegedly from the crime and contracted a sexually transmitted disease, 11 years old, at the YMCA. Makes me sick to my stomach just thinking about it. And that's not even the worst part. The defense attorney for the alleged rapist has implied that the sex was consensual. Is he out of his mind? She was an 11-year-old girl with special needs. It could not have been consensual. It's impossible.
Okay, in this video, what'd you see there? Yeah, 11-year-old girl. She's got raped. That's right. She got raped. 11 years old. Now, that's possible. Okay, but I have a problem with this one, okay? I guess the problem I have with this one, okay, she's an 11-year-old girl with special needs. Okay, with special needs. I want to know what these special needs are, okay? Is she mentally impaired? Is she mentally handicapped? Is she just a slow learner? What's the special needs, okay? They're not saying that part. But they will tell you that she's 11 years old. She was raped, okay? More than once, that's right, by the same person, a 17-year-old, that's right, a 17-year-old. And, let's see, she was raped more than once, twice, by the 17-year-old, and it took before her stomach bulged out before she was raped. She wasn't raped until after her stomach bulged out. Okay? That's the problem I have with this. Because seeing a legit rape, if something was forced on you in this behavior, it was forced onto you and you really didn't want, even at 11 years old, somebody would have known long before her stomach bulged out. Of course, then maybe right after he did it, her stomach bulged out immediately, right? Because the pregnancy was, what? Rushed, right? I mean, within a matter of a couple hours, man, the baby was already developing to where it bulged out her stomach, right? Not. Anyhow, watch out.
With us tonight, John Elmore, the lawyer for the family suing the YMCA. Mr. Elmore, why are your clients upset with the why?
Well, when you send someone to the YMCA, Jane, especially an 11-year-old child, you expect that they're going to be protected, that they're going to have fun, that they're going to have an enjoyable summer and a learning experience. And in this particular case, this 11-year-old was taken into a sauna room on 2 occasions, and she was forced to have sex, and as a result of this, she became impregnated. This 17-year-old, who was just shy of his 18th birthday, in addition to impregnating this 11-year-old child, gave her a venereal disease.
Okay, now, could have it been consensual? I would have to say yes. I'm going to say yes because of the fact that she waited till her stomach bulged out before it became a rape, okay? That's the reason I'm going to say yes, it was consensual. Was she old enough to give consent by law? No, she wasn't, okay? But was he 18? No, he wasn't. I don't care if he was almost 18 or not. He wasn't 18, okay? She obviously had consented. Even if she's special needs, you didn't specify what special needs you're claiming she is. Nobody specified that. How do we know she's special needs? We don't know this. That could just be said to paint her out to be more of a victim. Okay? I can only say this. Okay? In today's society, everything's about sex. Everything's about lust. Oh, what do you mean she's 11 years old, she's still a child, she don't know anything about sex? Wrong! How would she not know anything about sex? Come on, we're in a world that everything's about sex, isn't it? That's right. What? Oh, that's right, she's a child. She didn't learn nothing by the time she was born to 11 years old. Wrong! And then you have UNESCO, that's right, United Nations, pushing for sexual education on the children, that's right. And then, of course, we have a society that's filled full of nothing but sex. That's right. And so you honestly think that this girl... But anyhow, the lawyer says it was forced, okay? I have a problem with that. It was forced twice, not just once, twice. So you're going to tell me, against her wishes, against her will, she was forcibly stripped naked and fucked, okay, at 11 years old. And twice, not just once, and neither time she told nobody. She waited till her stomach bulged out, right? That's what you're going to tell me. And then you expect me to believe that, right? I'm not going to believe that, sorry. Because if it was forced, it wouldn't have went to a second time. Okay? End of story. If it was forced, it wouldn't have went to a second time. She would have already told somebody. It wouldn't happen twice, and then you wait till her stomach bulges out, which takes how many months? So you catch what I'm saying? Watch out.
We haven't identified him, but he sounds like an alleged creep to me. Dr. Judy Kuriansky, this is a special needs child, 11 years old now. I guess my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Elmore, is that the mother realized she was pregnant when her stomach started to grow, and now she has a baby
boy,
and a sexually transmitted disease.
Right. The sexually transmitted disease, fortunately, was treated, and the baby was apparently premature, and this is horrific. She's a 12-year-old. She's a baby herself, and she's had a baby. I love that you use the word cautionary tale, Jane, because this is a cautionary tale to parents, even kids. Young girls are menstruating earlier and earlier. It used to be 15, then it was 13, now it's down to 11, sometimes 9 and 8. This is part of hormonal development and anthropological things that are happening, and so parents need to start talking about sexuality to their young girls and boys very early, and especially to special needs kids. It's also a cautionary tale to schools about the importance of comprehensive sex education, and to camps and all organizations that deal with young children.
Did you catch that? If you was really listening to what that gal was saying, what you should have picked up on in this story would be UNESCO, United Nations. It's an essential that all camps, all organizations in the schools, that everybody, that we start teaching our children about sex really young. What does UNESCO push? Well, the UNESCO wants your children to learn how to masturbate at 5 years old. That's right. 5, 6 years old, they're supposed to learn how to play with themselves. Now, you don't believe me? Both. You don't have to believe me. I don't care. I've already done enough reports on it. I've already showed you the stuff over and over and over. And it is no lie. The United Nations, that's right, United Nations is pushing for sexual education on children. Starting as young as 5 and 6 years old, they are to learn how to play with themselves. Masturbation. That's right. That it can feel good when somebody rubs themselves between their legs. That's right. This is what you want to teach your children, right? At that age. So when you're talking about this girl, and then it's like they said right there in your face, it didn't become a rape until after the girl's stomach bulged out. And now we're going to use this as guidelines to continue to push the issue that we need to teach children sex younger and younger and younger. You're going to say, no, not have sex, about sex so they'll know, so that they won't get molested. Well, I would want to agree with you, except for the fact when you look up the actual PDF file, the actual what they're pushing into the school systems for kids to learn the sexual education on, which, matter of fact, I do have the PDF file of it, okay? I do have the exact same thing that the school system is pushing, okay? That's been brought to them by United Nations, okay? I do have that. And when I was reading through this, I can tell you right now, when you say you teach them sex younger to protect them from being molested, I would agree with that if you was teaching them not sex, teaching them about inappropriate touching. Inappropriate this or inappropriate that. But when you're going to teach children at 5 years old to masturbate that feels good to rub oneself between their own legs, when you're going to start teaching them this type of behavior on the guidelines that you're protecting your children, we can count on a lot more kids becoming pregnant like this 11-year-old. And then there was another key thing thrown at you. Well, they're reaching their hormonal menstrual cycles younger and younger. That's right. It used to be 13, then it was 10 or 11, and now it's sometimes even 9 and 8 years old. Why do you suppose that is? Well, that would probably be because of the prescription drugs we're receiving, the hormones that are put into our foods. That's right. The stuff that we're putting in our bodies is what's causing these children to hit puberty at a younger age. Because your government, that's right, your government, and the bankers and United Nations and Monsanto's, that's right, and food corporations, are putting stuff in the foods that we digest, your children digest, that causes your hormones to develop sooner. That's why these girls are now hitting their menstrual cycles at a sooner age. That's why you got 8 and 9-year-olds now having their menstrual cycle. And this is also why you heard the way this report played out. They're pushing to get their sexual education in the school system on the guideline that they're going to protect your children from this type of stuff happening. When in reality, their idea of protecting your children from this kind of stuff from happening isn't really protecting your children. It's going to help it to happen. Because you're teaching them at 5 years old when one rubs themselves between their legs, it can feel pleasurable. How is that going to protect your child? That's teaching them it's okay to make themselves feel good down there. So when you teach them that and then you teach them the rest of the birds and the bees, by the time they're 8, 9 years old, they're going to be fully naked, fucking already having fun. Because you've already showed them it feels good. And now I want you to think of one more thing I can throw in there. School systems putting condoms in the office and offering them out for free. Which is the same thing as saying, here's a condom. We don't care if you have sex. Go have fun. Because you just gave them permission to have sex by giving them a condom to begin with. Think about it. If you comments and opinions, next video, you have a good one.